Welcome back to CLE Weekend. So we are back with Reset Medical and Wellness Center that is in Strongsville. Today, obviously, I'm not in Strongsville, but I was. And I saw the amazing facility there. And I really enjoyed it. I loved, actually, I should say, learning so much about the treatments that you guys do. So I want to introduce you again to Kelly Price, who is the CEO, of course, and Dr. Michael Lowers, the Associate Medical Director. So Kelly, first let's talk to you. Thank you both for coming on.
Yes, excited.
Let's talk about Reset and what exactly it is for anyone who's sitting at home and doesn't know.
Yeah, so Reset Medical and Wellness Center really helps people overcome traumas, depression, anxiety, a lot of mental health issues, plus long COVID, menopause, a lot of different things that we're discovering as we continue to do it. But we specialize in a stellate ganglion block that we call neurosympathetic reset.
And you have a lot of things that you cover. I mean, I know you just mentioned
a
couple of them. One thing when I go to your website is you see everything, and it's really spelled out so nice. But there is a lot that is covered, and there's a lot of treatments too.
Right. Yeah, and really for us, we really like to make sure that we're focusing on things that will increase or help people with their mental health. So a lot of times people in chronic pain, whether they're migraines or whether it's tension headaches, things like that, TMJ, causes a lot of depression and anxiety as you work through it. So we just started with therapeutic Botox, which helps with TMJ and migraines, myofascial tension, things like that. Mike, because Dr. Lowers is better at explaining that than I am. Plus we have ketamine that a lot of times helps with treatment-resistant depression. We use that a lot in conjunction with the NSR treatment, and then we also have IV therapeutic vitamin injections to help the overall health of our bodies.
There is a lot.
And trigger point, yeah.
Right. So I want you to kind of walk through, let's say we're going to be a new patient, we come in, how do these treatments work? How many times do we have to come in? Explain a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, like Kelly said, we want to be a holistic treatment center, right? We want to treat mind and body health. So depending on what your needs are, hopefully we can meet that. But at its core, we want to get at the source of the problem, right? Not just treat the symptoms. Some of those things that Kelly said that we absolutely do can be very helpful for some of the physical as well as emotional symptoms, right? Like therapeutic Botox for migraines and jaw pain and trigger point treatment. But our core treatment is the NSR treatment. And the basic idea behind it is that we all live with a certain amount of stress, right, Jamie?
Yeah, hello, yes, I know about this. Keep talking.
Your stress might be different than mine, but we all have a threshold, right?
Yeah.
Some stress is helpful. Too much stress becomes damaging, right? It causes you to get sicker easier, to develop chronic inflammation, and it starts to damage your nervous system. And what we know is that after a certain point, part of our nervous system, our fight or flight part of our nervous system, that reactive part of our nervous system gets overreactive. And that causes things like anxiety attacks and panic attacks and restlessness and insomnia, right? Really the heart of a lot of mental health disorders.
Yeah.
And our treatment, the NSR treatment, focuses on resetting that, on rebalancing that fight or flight response. And it's done with a simple injection that takes about 20 minutes and can be very effective. And as far as ongoing treatment, the idea is if we can change our physiologic reaction to triggers by lowering that response, then we can start to heal from our trauma. Right, so then patients can get into more traditional therapies like talk therapy and mindfulness and move forward and hopefully don't even need any further treatment from us.
No, and you mentioned so many things that I think, oh, I know this person who has dealt with this and I know that person. It's one of those things where you know so many people. So if you sitting at home are like, I don't know who doesn't deal with stress, but if you say, oh, this doesn't impact me, I want you to think about the people in your lives that it may impact and how they can benefit. Now, some of the new treatments, because last time that I came out to see you, you guys have some new stuff since I saw you.
Right. So as Kelly mentioned,
is it the Botox?
We do therapeutic Botox,
yeah.
Right? So that's really helpful. Again, anxiety and mental health it's a complex disorder, right? So you have an emotional aspect, but there is a physical aspect. We want to be able to help the migraines, the TMJ, the myofascial pain. We want to be able to offer things like IV ketamine and other IV therapies to really make sure that we're targeting mental health from all angles.
Yeah, and Jamie, this isn't the type of Botox you can get at a Botox party.
No, I know.
So, I mean, you have to be trained in doing.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
So we're not doing cosmetic Botox necessarily.
No, but I think, over the years you've heard about Botox in helping more ways than, right? You initially would think back in the day that it would be, facial Botox. So you guys have discounts that you do, which is really special for certain people. Who?
Yeah, so it's very important to us that we're helping the mental well-being of those that are going out and kind of putting themselves on the line, or really putting themselves in a space that isn't a great mental health space. So first responders, military, educators, nurses, and mental health providers. So we provide a 20% discount to all of those individuals off of our services, so that way we can help them. We know that oftentimes they don't make a ton of money, and it's a way that we can help, but they also will probably go back into the trauma and maybe experience something again that may need to be treated. Where most you and I, if we kind of get through our trauma, unless we experience something again, we may or may not need to be treated again. And so providing that discount to them, and then we also give it to the families, so the spouses and the children of military and first responders, we give that discount.
Giving back, which is
so
important.
100%.
I love that you do that. Where can we get more information?
So all that you have to do is go to theresetcenter.com, and on our site you'll see a free mental health assessment, and you can take that. It's at no obligation, but what's really cool is it does send you kind of repeat assessments over a period of time, and it monitors your mental health like you would a fitness tracker. So it kind of keeps up with you, but we do follow up with all of our patients as a pre and post-op. That allows us to kind of know, and if somebody's scores start dropping back off again, we hear that, or we get that information, and we can follow back up with you to make sure you're doing okay and see what's going on.
Yeah, of course, always checking in, and that's why we appreciate you very much. Kelly, Dr. Lowers, thank you so much. That's theresetcenter.com. We'll be right back on CLE Weekend.